Hey there, welcome to another edition of Cardiac Cook. My name is John. I was conversing with my brother-in-law, Steve, and he was asking this morning, well, it would be nighttime for him because he lives way the heck over there in Vietnam, and he was asking about some of the prior videos that we've done before on my channel that used to go under my name. And I told him actually before that I was going to plan on actually redoing those videos with the new editing programs that I've got. Anyway, thanks Steve. Actually, you've kind of put me on a path for encouraged me to be able to do these videos. I really appreciate your help and your encouragement. And of course, he's always given me advice and that sort of thing, what to do and what not to do, and what things have changed and how cool they are looking now and everything. He's over there in Vietnam, and he works as a teacher over at one of the real posh schools over there. He's got a girlfriend, and I remember him telling me, I think it was last summer, he said, I don't know, not feeling so good lately, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it's some of the stuff that basically I've been eating over here in Vietnam. Things are not really seemingly the same. Turns out he discovers basically it's pretty common to put that MSG in all the food that's over there. It makes it taste great, but it's a lot of sodium. And his girlfriend, I think, was making a lot of the food that they were eating at home with MSG, and he cut that out, and things have been a lot better ever since. So that's kind of, I guess, kind of a promo, I guess, why he likes my channel, because we do the things a little bit different with a lot less sodium. Appreciate his support. So today actually is just a redo. I've got all the old editing footage from broccoli cheddar soup. I made this soup actually way back in my early days of recovering from my heart surgery. If you don't notice today, of course, I'm wearing my pinup welder girl. She's this shirt I got from Vegas, and something you may think is kind of cool. I think it's cool anyway. She's got herself a tattoo on the front there of her chest, and it's got a heart on there. It's also got John listed in that heart, so I think it's kind of the coolest shirt I've got. Hi, it's John here today. I'm doing this video today. We're doing the Instapot broccoli cheddar soup. Now, if anybody knows, of course, you check out the sodium content on any soups you buy in the store in a can. They are definitely going to come into a high sodium content. Only half a cup basically is pushing usually about 30%, which I mean is not too bad, but you're not just going to probably eat only half a cup. You probably are going to eat about twice that, usually about a cup on a serving, or what you feel like is comfortable enough to eat. And that, coupled with any other things, of course, you're pretty high on a sodium content with just one simple meal. And it's not that difficult to make soup. In this case, we're making broccoli cheddar soup in our Instapot. And it's going to have low sodium. The only sodium basically that's in there is going to be the cheddar content, in which case you can choose some of your cheddar to be a little bit better sodium content. If not really using a heck of a lot, and by the time you divvy it up into sodium portion size, it's actually not that bad. Of course, I got my Instapot set out here, ready to go. This is a 6 liter. You do need at least a 6 liter. You can do it with the bigger one. There is an 8 liter Instapot out there. If you don't have one of these yet, this is really an awesome thing to have in your kitchen. It cuts down the cooking time by at least 50%. Set out all our ingredients already ahead of time because we're going to need them on the fly pretty fast here. All right, I started with, of course, I got olive oil and butter in there, 3 tablespoons of each. That's going to be for sauteing our onion, and we've also got a potato, small potato here, and some carrot, about a cup of carrot that's shredded. I've got our garlic there. It only calls for about two cloves of garlic, but I've actually got about 2 to 3 times that. It's up to you. Use as much as you like. Use as much as you feel. I've got also, for later on in the recipe, there's a 1/4 cup of butter. That's unsalted butter. We're going to need a little bit of flour with that. 1/4 cup of that as well. And of course, our secret ingredient there, the pepper the wife doesn't know about. Paprika, nutmeg. Just a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of paprika makes the flavor. We've got our broccoli all set up here. And cheddar. I've got marble cheese here. There's about 2.5 cups of marble cheese shredded up. ahead of time. Later on, of course, because it is a cream soup, there's going to be a mixture of dairy product. It actually calls for 2 cups of half and half, but in this case I've only got, and I only use, of course, and cream in the house here is 18% coffee cream. A little higher content at 18% compared to 10% on half and half. But I'm going to mix it with some butter, or sorry, some milk. And that's just 1% milk, and that should be able to come out to the right consistency for a cream. And of course, I also need about 2 cups of the chicken broth. This is actually in the box, of course, low sodium. Just wanted to show you this simply low sodium, no salt added chicken broth by Campbell's. It's excellent, actually. It only shows 3% sodium, 70 milligrams per 1 cup. Alright, so just going to demonstrate. I like to do the potato actually in small cubes, kind of like 1 centimeter or so cubed, and it goes in at the same time as the carrot here, so we're going to put that in there. Kind of like making fries, but making them into cubes instead. Basically, the potato is just adding a bit of to the cream and thickening it up. Especially after, of course, it's cooked, it gets kind of mashed up with all the flowerets of the broccoli. That turns it into kind of like mashed potato then. All right, here's how you do an onion. All right, take the onion, you cut both ends. You can discard that away. Make sure that the onion is actually in good shape. There's no green or growing molds or anything on it. You cut down the side of the onion. You peel off an entire full layer around the outside of the onion. You don't want any of that dry stuff from the onion. Now this is the simplest thing in the world to make. Dicing up an onion. You cut it right down the middle. And I usually use exactly where I cut the slice out of the side of the taking the layer of the onion off. You take your chef knife and you cut it about a 1/4 inch. Slices, 1/4 inch. All right, you turn it the other way. Kind of slice on a bit of an angle. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. When you get just past halfway, you turn the onion 45 degrees and you continue to cut 1/4 inch. That makes a really nice dice. Just to demonstrate, nicely diced. You don't need any of them fancy little onion kitchen gadgets or whatever. You just need a good sharp knife. Demonstrate one more time. Take the onion, the length of the onion layers, and you cut 1/4 inch. I hold it together while I cut it. Now if you want bigger onion, you cut it bigger. If you want smaller onion, you cut it smaller. Cut on an angle, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. You get just past halfway, turn it 90 degrees, cut 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. It's all nicely diced up. The only thing that does happen, you can sometimes cry about this. Don't cut yourself, but sometimes the onion will make you cry. Okay, we're about ready to start. So, first of all, we turn on saute function, waiting for it to get a little warm. We have to get our butter and oil mixture in, get a melter butter, get our oil all nice and hot. Takes a little bit for it to finally get up to temperature on these Instapot. Once they do though, they do very well. Just getting all my butter all mixed up a little bit there. I'm going to grab myself my favorite wooden spoon. Give it a stir, starting to bubble a little bit. Kind of making a little boil action with the oil and the butter. comes to that. The rest of my oil in there. Next, some garlic's going in. Stir that garlic in that butter. And of course, as typical, the onion goes in. Starting to steam a little bit. You get that onion in there for about a minute or so. There we go, bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. Potato and carrot. Give that about a minute or so too. Soften up the potato a bit. Get it started to heat up. Now it's just starting to get a really good rolling boil here. The butter and the oil steaming away. Now we're going to put, just about mix this up. Spices, there's nutmeg, paprika, and the pepper that the wife doesn't know about. Not much of each, about 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of pepper, just a tiny little 1/4 teaspoon of the nutmeg. That's all mixed up good. Next is our broth. That's going to cool things down real quick there. So I'm going to wait for this to kind of come to a bit of a boil. Still on the saute function. Alright, that's what it looks like. All nice and starting to just starting to steaming a little bit and starting to come to a boil. We're going to switch it to a pressure cook for 5 minutes. So pressure cook for 5 minutes, the lid goes on. Turn it to the off position here for a second. And manual, gotta turn it to only 5 minutes. Okay, our Instapot has come to the end of that 5 minutes time of pressure cooking. Rereading my recipe, it actually calls for 5 minutes of natural release, which means after the pressure is finished and the timer is finished on its 5 minutes of pressure, it actually shuts the heater off basically, and it allows it to just kind of stew in there all pressurized. But slowly, of course, the temperature comes down, which of course also brings the pressure down. So we're going to wait till it's 5 minutes up, and then we're going to release the pressure, what's left in there. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I'm going to mix our 1/4 cup of flour and melted butter. Now I used to have, unfortunately I don't have it anymore, it kind of fell apart, the handiest thing in the world, which was the tiniest little mini whisk. I used to do this up just perfectly, but we do with what we have. If you don't have a whisk, you don't have a whisk. We're just going to mix that up into a bit of a buttery, floury paste. 5 minutes. Good. We're going to hit the off button there. Pressure release. The cool thing about Instapot is it is a pressure cooker. At the same time, it's kind of almost foolproof, dummy proof. You pick the name you want to use. It basically makes it so that you can't really mess it up. There we go. Now we got broccoli. It basically looks like broccoli's been steamed to heck. And it's really well cooked. Trust me, it's like almost, I mean, there's a bit of a chunk to it, but it's pretty much mushy at this point. So that's why the immersion blender is going to make it into a much finer. All right, here we go. When they say immersion blender, they mean immersion blender. It doesn't really do you much good to lift it out because it splatters all over the place. Next, in goes the cream. Oh, there's just shy of one, right at 1 cup there. So that's going to go in. I'm going to turn this back onto the saute function because we want to get it all nice and hot again. And 1 cup of milk. You can see the broccoli flowerets in there. It's a cream soup. Stir it up there for you. Awesome. Even smells good. We have no smell vision though. Alright, we're just coming to a boil. I'm going to turn it off actually now. It's a little bit on the hot side. We're going to add that paste of butter, flour. I'm going to stir that up. It'll blend in and make it nice and thick. And also we're going to add our cheese. Blend that in nice and slowly. Doesn't clump up. There we go, bubbling away a little bit. It's even off still. It's not really adding any heat. We're blending our cheese in there nice and slowly, makes it all really cheesy. So then we got about, I would say 5, 6, yeah, a good 6 cups, at least 6 cups, maybe 7 cups of our soup here. Which, you know, you have about 1 cup or so per serving. It tastes really, really cheesy, really, really creamy. I'm going to take it out. And it's time for lunch. Ooh, gooey thick. All right. And there we go. I think another little half scoop there for me too. I like to add a little bit of cheddar to the top too. It's just freshly started to melt. Well, there's a taste test. Ooh, look at that. Stringy, stringy, cheesy. I gotta have a second one. Well, that one was hot. Ooh, but good. Next time, I think we'll do just a chicken broth. How about that? Do the chicken broth so you know how to make low sodium chicken broth. Bon appetit. Okay, like I said in the end of the video there, do a chicken broth video. I have actually done one before. I'm not sure if I really, you know what? It's an old video. Let's do a new one. I've got 1 carcass in the freezer already. I'm gonna probably cook up another chicken this weekend, and we'll save that chicken carcass and we'll put them together into the Instapot and make ourselves some homemade chicken broth. How about that? Show you how to do it. It's easy, just a bunch of vegetables and the chicken carcasses and that sort of thing. Makes it really, really good. Used it multiple times. Low sodium. Tastes just like you do out of the box that was in that one there. Okay, well that's an early version of broccoli cheddar soup. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a re-edit. Everything's all kind of new and I don't know, better than it was probably before the original version. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I say, and I keep saying all the time, I give you permission to be able to share as well as like. And don't be afraid to be a subscriber.